Are we heading to a crash or are we heading to a correction? Well, I'm sure that's the question on everyone's mind right now because we're having so much information thrown at us in this media. This one is for my buyers who are on the fence about buying. Is it the right time? Is it not the right time? What the heck is happening in the market? In this video, we're going to break down stats of what's actually going on locally from a real estate perspective, as well as the pros and cons of buying in this market and maybe some strategic strategies that you could use within your home buying. But make sure you stick around to the end because I'm going to have some helpful insight that may impact your home buying process. Right now in Northeast Florida, our market is kind of just finding a balance on where it's at because what we had for the past 5 years is not normal. I have to make that clear. 2% interest rates are not normal. Homes appreciating hundreds of thousands of dollars is not normal. Let's not make that the norm. But you have to admit, it's been really intense for buyers the past few years, especially with competition and investors. But now it's becoming a little bit more of a buyer-friendly market where you guys are actually able to call shots, if not make the shots happen. So if you're feeling a shift, it's definitely a correction, not a crash. But let's talk more. Overall, in the Northeast Florida region, we have had a 3.7% drop in housing prices. Now, again, this signals the market is evening out, not dropping. Dropping, it'd be much higher. Now, in regards to Jacksonville and Duval County, it's actually up to 4.4%. That's definitely a sign of softening. But while St. Johns County is right around 2.7%, which is still high, but it is still trending and trickling a little bit down as well. Now, in this, we aren't saying that homes aren't worth their prices. We're not saying that your home doesn't have any equity to it. We're just simply saying that there is a softening of the market and adjusting accordingly is very important, especially when the temperature is shifting so quickly. And another point that's super important to make is it's not like your home is depreciating because of value, but it's because of inventory. There is a lot of inventory. If I click on my MLS right now, it's going to tell me that there's 23,000 options for people to choose from that are residential. Now that's of course including condos, townhomes, and single family homes, but it's important to note we have a ton of inventory and a ton of options, which is great for you buyers, by the way. And let's talk days on market because I know you're looking at it on Zillow, but days on market are higher than normal. And that's honestly due because buyers are having a little bit of fatigue. Buyers are wondering what the heck is going on in this market. And also because we have so much inventory, but this is a great opportunity for you buyers. One, because you actually have time to look at the homes. It's not where you have to put in an offer because you saw it for a glimpse of a second, while also being able to do the inspections that are needed to be done to make sure you have peace of mind. And of course, the best part is negotiation. Now, of course, interest rates currently are in the high sixes. So we're seeing some at 6.5, we're seeing some at 6.9. And of course, that is a big impact for affordability for a lot of buyers out there. So typically what you could afford with a lower interest rate, of course, it impacts your buying power. And that's why I really feel like a lot of first-time home buyers or some buyers right now are heading towards the new construction route because of all the incentives they have that are built in, that they're able to have that lower interest rate, whether it's, I just saw one for Toll Brothers, the first year of 1.99, wild, or 4.99 locked. So there's a ton of different options for rate buy downs that they're offering over the standard interest rate. But again, if you're waiting for 2%, it's going to be really, really awkward when you're going into your retirement home not being able to get that 2% interest rate. Just saying. Now let's talk about some of the pros of purchasing in this current market that we're in with all these shifts and changes happening. One, of course, I've already mentioned, is that price change. Those price adjustments are in your favor 100%. And I definitely think if you're a seller looking at this, definitely look at your competition around you. You need to know because buyers are looking. Buyers are seeing the competition. If you are one of 60 homes in the neighborhood that's for sale, how are you putting yourself ahead? It's beyond marketing sometimes because honestly, I think buyers are out here willing to do the little honeydew projects because their flooring isn't done or is done or anything like that, but pricing accordingly and aggressively is really important in this market with how much inventory there is, specifically if you're in a neighborhood with a ton of inventory. But buyers, with these price adjustments, that means that your dollar goes way further. And because we're officially in a buyer's market here in Northeast Florida, that means you have leverage. That's right. A round of applause for our buyers who waited patiently. You now have leverage to ask for closing costs, to ask for rate buy downs to buy down your interest rate lower. Or you also have the options to get those repairs actually fixed, because with days on market the way it is, the last thing a homeowner wants to do is honestly go back on the market, just to be completely honest. But you have multiple ways to negotiate. You have when you make the contract, and also if you need a couple items fixed that of course are not nitpicky. If there's a little paint thing over here, we're not asking for that. We're just trying to make sure you have peace of mind while you move in, but you do have a lot of negotiation opportunities right now in this market. And as we've mentioned before, inventory is huge. So you have a ton of options, but not only do you have top options, you most likely have time on your side. And because of that, the perfect home is bound to come up. It's bound to check your boxes, I promise you. And if not, keep an eye out or reach out to me and I'll find the perfect one, because it's not hard for me. I'll negotiate some stuff down too to make it work. And as we mentioned, builders have some pretty amazing incentives, and they also have a lot of inventory. So if you go in there by yourself, they're going to tell you one price, but bring Demi Judd in because she's going to go crazy asking for more and more incentives. I have saved my buyers, I'm pretty sure, around 10% more than if they were just to go in by themselves. I'd have to really calculate that. I need to find that out for you guys one day. But it's a lot. It's a lot of incentives that I'm able to get, whether it's through buy down, closing costs, or right off the price, or more towards design if you're building from scratch. Actually, fun fact, I just had buyers come down from the north and they wanted to buy new construction. Their brother came down and went without me. We'll forgive him at Thanksgiving dinner, but bought new construction without me and got offered X amount as credit. I'll just say what it is. Offered $5,000 towards design credit. I called up my builder and I was like, I need to beat that. Just to be totally clear, I'm doing better than that. And at the moment, they were only offering $30,000 of incentives. And I was like, we ain't doing that. I want 60. I want you to double it. Like, where it's like double it, give it to the next person, double it, give it to me. And I was able to get them $60,000 of design, including closing costs taken care of, and not to mention anything that happens with rates too, of them trying to like get down a few points too. We're excited about that, but that won't be done until next year, but we're super excited. And of course, the homestead exemption tax credit that you get with owning a home. This is always a benefit. It's honestly the best benefit of having a home in general is the tax benefits of it, especially here in St. Johns County. You have to make sure that it is your primary residence. This isn't you trying to get an investment property. This is your primary residence, and it's to protect you from high taxes raising over time. Let's keep going. Let's talk about the cons, because I'm sure you already have a list of them as I'm talking to you, contradicting all the pros that I'm saying. But cons, of course, are the elevated mortgage rates. I'm not stupid, but I also know that when it's the right home, you make decisions. Because as much as that 6.5% interest rate looks bad, one, I have a 7.2. So don't talk to me about high interest rates. I got it. But you have to also understand that you are paying 100% interest on your rental. You are burning money. You are lighting it on fire. If you would like to find a place to burn your money and light it on fire, I will give you my address and you can just throw it there. I will pretend like it's on fire, because that's what you're doing. And two, home prices, because they are coming down, are still a little bit inflated in some areas. Well, that's where I come in and I negotiate it down. I feel like I'm actually giving you cons, but I'm contradicting your cons and saying there is an ability for these cons to be pros, because you can negotiate the price. Honestly, just shoot your shot. I shoot my shot on a constant basis. My buyers will come in and they'll say, Demi, it's this price. We would love it for this price. And I was like, let's shoot our shot. I was like, why not? I'll talk to the agent. I'll get a good rapport on her. Feel them out, see what the seller's feeling. They may be fatigued and done with being on the market. They may agree to that crazy price you're wanting. Why not shoot our shot? Okay, so I don't agree with this con, but I know that it is a concern for a lot of people, which is the skyrocketing homeowners insurance. In some areas of Florida, agree, insurances have gone up. Now, I will tell you, I haven't had anyone pay crazy insurance. Like, I also don't have anyone right off the coast either. But I will tell you that there are affordable options for insurance. And if you're curious if that's one of the things that you're really concerned about, Let's go get a quote from an insurance agent, one of my local ones. And we could do that within your like, I'm just looking option, not where you're having to go ahead and do the whole rigmarole. But if you're just curious because that's an obstacle for you, let's have a conversation so we can get over that hurdle, you know? Now, here are just some key things that I really want you guys to consider if you are on the fence, or maybe you're about to pull the trigger and find the perfect home. Can I say that? Trigger? Is that triggering to trigger? Pull the trigger. No offense was caused. But if you're on the fence right now about buying a home and you're not really sure where to go, I have a couple key points that I want you to consider if you are on the fence. Now, your financial health is one of my most important things. I say this to my brides and grooms that I help buy their first home. I want to make sure that you have no stress, that this makes sense for you guys. And an easy way to do that is for us to sit down, but also for me to give you one of my preferred lenders, because one, you may be more ready than you think, or a little bit of credit help that they can help you through that process, because you may be paying off something that's not even that important and won't impact you as much as XYZ would. Get it? Now, I always tell this to my people, whether you're ready in 2 weeks or 2 years, I'm here to bounce questions off of. I have a lot of friends that just aren't ready right now, and that's perfectly fine. I'm here to ask the questions too. I met with a bride and groom a year before they were ready. They're going to be buying in December, but they still have questions about the entire process. Where do they start? Where are they going with it? And how can they make sure that they're in the best situation for when they are ready? And is there a neighborhood they want? So then we can directly laser focus on that neighborhood for when a house does come up that's perfect. It'll be perfect timing. So when it comes to thinking about if this market is the market for you to buy in or should you wait, just think about this market as being a window of opportunity just to test the waters to see if it is for you. Because this may be the perfect market for you to negotiate the best price on the home that you've been wanting for so long. And say rates do eventually drop. Somehow they go into the fours. Please, Jesus, I hope it goes into the fours for my sake. But say it goes into the fours, but you already have the house you want because you know it's going to be a frenzy because you and everyone else is waiting for it to drop as well. But you just get to refinance and have the exact home that you absolutely love without the competition. If you want to explore some of the options that you do have, because not only are there opportunities within the market between negotiation, price improvements, everything like that, but there's a lot of loan and grant opportunities that are available to you guys as first-time home buyers that you may not even know about. I am going to do a video about some of the cool ones that currently I'm helping some buyers through that are like mind-blowing that they're even offered. I wish they were offered when I was buying, but there's a lot of opportunities out there, and I'd be happy to sit down with you and see what options you do have so we could strategize for if you're ready now and again in 2 years. I'm here to help navigate you through this changing market. But until next time, I'm Demi Judd with Real Broker, here to help you find home. Okay, bye.